Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, EAA AirVenture 2015 NOTAM is published. Major upgrades for the L-39 are now available, and AOPA has comments on the proposed UAS regulations. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm Ashley Hale. Now we know AirVenture is getting closer because the FAA has released the EAA AirVenture Oshkosh 2015 Notice to Airmen, featuring arrival and departure procedures for EAA's annual AirVenture Flying Convention, being held July 20th through the 26th at Wittman Regional Airport. The NOTAM, which is in effect starting 6 a.m. Central Time, July 17th, to noon Central Time, July 27th, outlines procedures for the many types of aircraft that fly to Oshkosh for the event, as well as aircraft that land at nearby airports. Download a PDF version of the NOTAM or request a free printed copy by calling EAA. Online ordering will be available soon. Printed copies of the NOTAM will be available sometime in May from the FAA. The NOTAM for this event is so extensive that it's not issued by flight services over the phone. During the months of June and into July, Aero-News will be providing expert tips and guidance regarding flying into AirVenture in our daily Aerosports Update column. Now, owners of the L-39 jet trainer airplanes have the ability to make considerable upgrades, which includes a new engine. In an exclusive partnership with Vodochody and Williams International, Draken International, located in Lakeland, Florida, is now offering next-generation upgrades on L-39 aircraft in the Americas. The key new feature is installing the Williams International FJ44 4M engine, which delivers improved performance in speed, range, and endurance. Further, a new electric starter allows the original APU to be removed with all its components, saving considerable weight. In the cockpit, new digital instruments are added, as well as OEM overhauled injection seats with flash ejection pyro. Additionally, all major systems will be brought up to current OEM compliance. In addition to being the exclusive provider of the L-39 NG upgrade program in the Americas, Draken also entered into an agreement with Vodochody last year, which established Draken as the first approved maintenance, repair, and overhaul operation in the U.S. After the break, AOPA wants to close gaps on the UAS regulation.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
The KSN 770 is an affordable, WAAS-enabled integrated MFD with a flexible hybrid user interface from Bendix King. Get your fingers on the 770's perfect blend of touchscreen and hard buttons. Easily control your GPS navigation, NavCom, weather, traffic, and terrain in any condition. For more information, go to bendixking.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Welcome back. If you'd like to suggest a story for Airborne Unlimited, send an email to news-spy@aero-news.net. AOPA is asking the FAA to close gaps in the agency's proposed rules governing small commercial unmanned aircraft systems. The association made the recommendations and formal comments filed last week in response to the FAA's Notice of Proposed Rulemaking. AOPA asked the FAA to lower the maximum operating altitude for small commercial UAS from 500 feet to 400 feet, the same altitude now allowed to model aircraft. They suggest the use of an altimeter and possibly the inclusion of autopilot capabilities. And the association asked the FAA to consider requiring UAS to use geofencing technology to prevent operation near inappropriate airspace. AOPA also made comments regarding UAS use in Class G airspace near airports. And they suggested a better way to accomplish the FAA proposed knowledge test requirements. They also suggested that some sort of UAS identification system should be established for commercial operators. It looks like AOPA thinks the NPRM was a first good step, but that fine-tuning is needed. Every Tuesday, we're going to look ahead at some of the most interesting events in the aviation universe. Here's this week's Aero-Calendar. If it's an air show you're looking for on the West Coast, it's hard to beat the Planes of Fame Air Show at Chino Airport. It runs on the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd and includes the full gamut of the best individual air show performers combined with the thrill of military jets. However, if you're really looking to the west, the Marine Corps Air Station in Iwakuni, Japan is holding its first ever Iwakuni Friendship Day Air Show on May 3rd. They will open their gates to the gracious people of Iwakuni and thrill them with the sight of airborne Marines in action. The weekend of May 2nd and 3rd will be busy at Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, where you'll find the Defenders of Liberty Open House and Air Show. Those Air Force folks are being mighty nice because they're welcoming the U.S. Navy Blue Angels and U.S. Army Golden Knights parachute team. On the other hand, if you're looking for the serenity of old-time biplanes, check out the Columbia Biplane Fly-In being held in Columbia, California on May 8th. All types of biplanes are invited to participate, so there will be lots to see. After these messages, once again, the U.S. Air Force helps in a time of need.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Now certified, Aspen Avionics single-band ADS-B, ATX-100, and ATX-100G transceivers are the next-gen ADS-B solution that provides the features pilots need while keeping flyaway costs low. Check it out now at aspenavionics.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we summarize some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The U.S. helps earthquake victims as the Air Force dispatches aircraft to Nepal to deliver personnel and cargo in support of disaster relief. Thousands of people have been reported killed or injured, and food and water and shelter are in short supply. 24 Apache attack helicopters will be relocated from Germany to Alaska under a cost-saving plan being implemented by the U.S. Army. The new home for these aircraft will be Fort Wainwright, located in Fairbanks. Scandinavian Aircraft, a Diamond aircraft distributor in Norway, has signed a contract for 7 new Diamond DA-40 NGs with Pilot Flight School. Pilot Flight School in Norway is one of Europe's largest flight training facilities. The Air Force's B-1 bomber fleet and long-range strike bomber program will move from Air Combat Command to Air Force Global Strike Command, effective October 1st. This places the Air Force's core mission of global strike and all bombers under a unified command. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's move on to the rest of the news. On March 29th of this year, Air Canada Flight ACA 624 and Airbus A320 crashed while landing at Halifax, Nova Scotia. It landed short of the threshold for runway 5 and then skid down the runway 1,100 feet before stopping. All 133 passengers and 5 crew members on board exited the aircraft, and about 25 people were taken to a hospital for treatment of injuries. It's now reported that a class action lawsuit has been filed for the sum of $12 million. In the suit, the law firm is claiming damages for physical and psychological injuries, including anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and insomnia. It also reported that they're filing lawsuits for about 20 individual people. It's reported the suit also addresses the issue that the passengers were left standing near the wreckage for about 50 minutes before being picked up and taken to shelter. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada continues its investigation and has not issued a final report. Well, that's our program for Tuesday, April 28th. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday. Please join us in a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.